Chapter 7. We're on section 7.1 today, applying the Pythagorean theorem. Our first theorem is called the Pythagorean theorem. We use it all the time, so it's sort of a review. In a right triangle, the square of the length of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the length of the legs. Okay, when you have a right triangle, I have two legs, and the two legs have the included right angle. So the leg and the leg touch the right angle, and the hypotenuse is across from the right angle. That's what we've always discussed as the hypotenuse. It's the side across from the right angle. So the leg, the first leg is named A, and the second leg is B, and the hypotenuse is always C. And the Pythagorean theorem states that you can do the length of A, square it, add it to the length of B squared, and that equals the length of your hypotenuse squared. Let's do an example. Find the length of the hypotenuse of the right triangle. So I have A, B, and C. Leg, leg, and hypotenuse. And we just can go 8 squared. Hold on. The book always does this backwards from what I do. Sorry, so we'll try it. C squared equals A squared plus B squared. So C is X. X squared equals 8 squared plus 6 squared. 8 times 8, 64. 6 times 6 is 36. X squared equals 100. Take the square root of both sides. You have a handy button on your calculator for this. Mistake. X equals 10. You try. Identify the unknown side as a leg or hypotenuse. Then find the unknown side length of the right triangle. Write your answer in simplest radical form. That means keep it in a square root. Okay? Push pause and go ahead and try it. Okay, X is a leg, and it is equal to 4. Identify the unknown side as a leg or hypotenuse, then find the unknown side length of the right triangle. Write your answer in simplest radical form. Push pause. Alright, X is the hypotenuse, and X equals either, you can say X equals the square root of 52, but as you practice, you'll be able to simplify. 52 is the same as 4 times 13, and you can take the square root of 4, which is 2. Example 2, standardized test practice. A 16-foot ladder rests against the side of a house, and the base of the ladder is 4 feet away from the house. Approximately how high above the ground is the top of the ladder? Here we have a right triangle, and we're trying to solve for X, which is a leg. So we're going to say 16 squared equals 4 squared plus X squared. 16 squared is 256 minus 16 . Let's move up here since I'm out of room. 240 equals X squared. Square root of both sides. X equals 15.5 feet, or D. Okay, you try. The top of a ladder rests against a wall 23 feet above the ground. The base of the ladder is 16 feet away from the wall. What is the length of the ladder? Sometimes, until you get the hang of it, it's sometimes best to draw a picture. So I have a ladder, the ground, the top of the ladder rests against the wall 23 feet above the ground. The base of the ladder is 6 feet away from the wall. What is the length of the ladder? Go ahead and try it. There you go. The Pythagorean theorem is only true for what type of triangle? It must be a right triangle. Example 3. Find the area of an isosceles triangle. Find the area of the isosceles triangle with side lengths 10 meters, 13 meters, and 13 meters. You have to remember the definition of isosceles triangle. Okay, the two sides are the same. Oops. And the leftover is the base. Okay, area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height, with the height being, okay, the distance from the vertex to the base. What's cool about an isosceles triangle is when you draw that altitude, it cuts the base into equal pieces. Okay, so if we're trying to find the area, we would do 1/2 the base, which is 10, times the height, which is the altitude, but we don't know the altitude, so we have to figure out the altitude. So we don't know what that is, but this is 5 and that is 5. We can use the Pythagorean theorem to find x. So, hold on. We have 13 squared equals 5 squared plus x squared. I think 13 squared is 169. Yep. 169 equals 25 plus x squared. Subtract 25 from both sides. 144 equals x squared. X equals 12. So my area is 1/2 the whole base, which is 10, times the height, which we just found is 12. 10 times 12 is 120. 1/2 of 120 is 60 meters squared. Alright, you try. Find the area of the triangle. It looks like an isosceles triangle again, so that altitude splits the base in half, so you have to find the altitude first. Go ahead and try. Alright, I found my altitude as 9.9, so I rounded. I plugged in 9.9 to the area formula. Area equals 1/2 times base times height. That's a 9.9. I got 148.5 feet squared. Then I tried the problem again, leaving this in my calculator, not rounding it at all, just leaving the whole number in there, and I got 149.2. So you can see there's some error with rounding. No big deal, just show all your work. Another one, I have another isosceles triangle. So my bases are there, and I'm trying to find my altitude. Push pause. There we go. The area of that one is 240 meters squared. Alright, another concept is the Pythagorean triple. A Pythagorean triple is a set of three positive integers, a, b, and c, that satisfy the equation c squared equals a squared plus b squared. It may be helpful to memorize the basic Pythagorean triples shown in bold for standardized tests. I've always had the 3, 4, 5 triangle memorized. If you ever see me work a problem on the board where I make it up on my own, I'll usually grab this triangle right here because I've always known it, and the legs are 3, 4, and the hypotenuse is 5, because 5 squared, 3 squared plus 4 squared, 9 plus 16 is 25. It always works out. So write them down. Maybe it'll help as you work through standardized tests, and may help you remember some things. 5, 12, and 13 is a common one. Alright, find the length of the hypotenuse of the right triangle, and we're going to try to use two methods. So the first method we're going to try is the Pythagorean triple. So the common Pythagorean triple is 5, 12, and 13. I'm going to go back and show you real quick. Example 4, find the length of the hypotenuse using two methods. Find the length of the hypotenuse of the right triangle, and we're going to try to do this using two different methods. So we're going to use that. So notice, if you multiply the lengths of the legs of the Pythagorean triple by 2, we have 10, 24, and 26. And that works for what you see here. So we have 24 squared plus 10 squared equals x squared. 24 squared is 576 plus 100, 676, square root of both sides, x equals 26. Cool? So using the Pythagorean triple, we could have stopped here and said that we are done, because we know that the Pythagorean triple would give us 26, or we can use the Pythagorean theorem, which is c squared equals a squared plus b squared. I'm probably going to go for the Pythagorean theorem because I only have the 3, 4, 5 triangle memorized, but some of you may be able to memorize some more. You try. Find the unknown side length of the right triangle using the Pythagorean theorem. And then if you can try to use the Pythagorean triple, that'd be great. I'm going to push pause. There's number 7. I did recognize the triple there. The 3, 4, 5 triangle, multiply all those by 3, and you get 9, 12, and 15. 9 and 12, so that's probably going to be 15. Then I went ahead and checked it, and yes, x is 15. Let's try number 8. Alright, I didn't look for the triple, but I used the Pythagorean theorem, and x equals 50. Daily homework quiz. There's 3 questions. Really, 2 points for these. Come on, you can do it. Write it on a scrap piece of paper, throw it in the inbox, 2 points extra credit. Number 2, find the altitude first, and then area is 1/2 base times height. And number 3, all done. Good job.